Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome, everybody, to the glorious episode of the Put on Raiders podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with myself, because Ryan's away. And we are behind podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. POR SBR is my Twitter handle, and POR BS social .b sky, something like that. I'll figure it out. But you can check me out on Blue Sky as well. So the Raiders always in the news, and I think one thing on Twitter that's popping right now is the fact that people are talking about a potential with no confirmation from Albert Breer or Rossini or Tom Pelissero. Hey, Raiders need a quarterback. Let's just call the Vikings up because they're going to pay Sam Darnold a 5-year deal, $400 billion, and then trade you JJ McCarthy. Lee Corso used to say, "Not so fast, my friend." I would have to concur with that statement. There is no. I'm looking at it from all different angles. The Minnesota Vikings have one of the most. They have a quarterback room that has, well, 2 out of 3 guys are very high entities right now. You have a veteran quarterback in Sam Darnold, who seemingly maybe has found his way, but that's probably, I think, the league around the league, they probably to say that it's probably Sam Darnold, and it's probably a lot of Kevin O'Connell, because Kevin O'Connell has been the new quarterback whisperer in the league right now. He's been a guy who is done a great job with quarterbacks. So why would we? So if you're them, like I don't understand, why would you all of a sudden put all your eggs in the Sam Darnold basket when you have a JJ McCarthy, who was one of the youngest players in the draft? He has 4 years left, like on his deal. Like, what would be the point of making this deal? Like, wouldn't you just like kind of trust your instincts here and just say, hey, I like Sam. Let's just say Sam takes him to the NFC Championship game and they lose a heartbreaker to the Lions or whoever in the NFC. That doesn't mean that, hey, he's the guy and he's whoever he wants. I mean, they could really, honestly, like, if they want to do right by him, they could just say, hey, we'll give you 2-3-year deal. If you can find it somewhere else, we are more than happy to just play JJ next year. Or if they wanted to really be, sticklers and say, hey, take this 3-year deal from us, you're going to get, which is really a 2-year deal. We can get out of it in a couple years. And then if you don't take it, we'll franchise you. So you get no security and you get no huge signing bonus, and you don't get all that money up front. Sam Darnold has had a tremendous season I can't call it a quarterback friendly offense, because he has made some throws that are just big time throws, that are throws that, like, maybe only a handful of guys in the league could make. Like, I mean, it's just real talk. Like, he has not made the game, the pass he made to beat the Seahawks a couple weeks ago or last week was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So it's not like he's just dinking and dunking and then just kind of finding his way here. He's doing everything possible here to make you believe that, shit, like, this guy could possibly have found his career. With that being said, he does need to do it again and play at that high level one more time. So if you are the Vikings, I think they're going to either franchise heavily pay him up front, pay him some money. And then if he doesn't want that deal and he wants to go somewhere else, like I said, if they really want him to be, they can let him walk, or they can just say, "Hey, bro, like you can either take our deal here, which is like a kind of a Kirk Cousins type 2 year deal, or we can just franchise you." But I don't see a scenario where he leaves. I don't. His agent could be sitting there saying, "Listen, let's try to force our way out. This is our one chance to cash out." And then you got the Titans, then you got the Raiders, then you got some of these other teams. Okay, we're right there. The Raiders are more likely to end up with Sam Darnold than they ever would with JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy is making, by NFL standards, making no money, bro. He's making no money. So why would you not ride with JJ McCarthy, who's making no money, then ride with a 5 year deal, 6 year deal for for Sam Darnold, who's gonna maybe strap your cap situation and kind of screw it up the same way the Browns have screwed it up with Deshaun Watson. It's fair for Sam Darnold to get paid. It's also fair for Sam Darnold to show the league and show the world that he can just do it one more time. That's it. I mean, I think everything is fair from the Raider perspective. Again, the Raiders are more likely to end up with Sam Darnold, in my opinion, than to end up with JJ McCarthy. Why would you trade JJ McCarthy? He's making no money. He's one of the he has great upside, and he's one of the youngest players in that draft class. He and Caleb, of the 6 quarterbacks, he and Caleb were the young quarterbacks. What sense would it make to trade him to the Raiders? And you can say, "Oh, we're going to dangle the 10th or 13th pick, whatever the Raiders end up with." They could do that, and that could be enticing. And you might have to give more than that. You might have to give a couple of first round picks. I do think it's funny how like Raider fans scoff at giving up a couple of picks, a couple of high picks for JJ McCarthy, but they just so what's the alternative? Just sit there with no quarterback? Sit there with AOC. The Raider off season, it's really about what Tom Brady, who has never done this before, is going to do with the Raiders. It's about what Tom Brady, who has never done this before, going to do with the Raiders. Mark Davis loves giving that job to some people who never did it before. Ziegler never did it before. Mike Mayock never did it before. Now he's giving the reins to Tom Brady. Never did it before. I kind of like the way Reggie did it. But back to back to JJ McCarthy. Like like it doesn't, the stars don't align on a trade. It doesn't really make sense unless I mean, like you can try to give him like a Godfather offer for McCarthy, right? You could try that, but I don't see that being a really good deal for I don't see a deal like that getting done because they can't. Who knows when the Vikings, who have been a good team ever since Kelsey's been there, are going to get up to that point where they can trade for or acquire a prospect like JJ McCarthy. Simple as that, Ray Nation. Simple as that, Ray Nation. All right, we'll be back later in the week. Talk about the Raiders, more draft stuff, more stuff as far as what we're gonna see in their last game against the Chargers, and we'll recap that. And I mean, obviously, You look at what we've seen from Brock Bowers has been just tremendous. So shout out to Bowers. JPJ is getting some burn, so is Glaze getting some burn. They ran the ball very well against the Saints. Talk about that next time. All right, peace, Warrior Nation.